The Tennessee Titans season is over. We're so happy.
Woohoo! I'll
We have
drink to that.
survived. We have survived the worst season in Tennessee Titans history and probably franchise history. So, Sharona, where do we go from here? What's the new direction? Or do we just need a break?
Who define we?
I don't know, you and your puppy?
Well, I will tell you, I've been taking a break. Sort of, kind of. I've been taking a little bit of not a little bit, a lot of a social media break. This is my first full week off from writing and covering the Titans and the NFL and fantasy football and all of that. So I have turned my attention to a new project, a non-sports related project that I'm going to be rolling out hopefully by Monday, although it's turned out to be a far more daunting task than what I expected.
Is
But
one of
all
the
is good here. All is good here. Zach, I hope that you had. Excuse me. Beer makes me burp. Pardon me. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
mostly we did. Man,
Was Santa good to you?
my cat's gonna be a pain in the butt tonight. I can just tell.
Well, my
You
dog's
know,
being
at this
very much.
point,
Huh?
Christmas is like my in-laws buying me clothes, and what did we get? A ceiling fan. This is the kind of gift you get as an adult. I got the big green egg from, as a gift like a few months ago. I feel like that's the best gift ever because it basically creates awesome food forever. I got
Oh
to
yeah,
do
what is that?
the big green egg. It's a charcoal grill, and it's like
Oh, the
Rolls
grill.
Royce the
Yes,
grill.
yes. Yes, I'm so sorry. I forgot. All bow to the grill.
Exactly. Well, one of the gifts I gave a bunch of family members was I made pasta sauce and I included meatballs that I cooked on the grill. So there you go.
Oh, well, that was a very thoughtful and personal gift, Zachary.
Exactly. I like consumable gifts, like in this size.
I want you to know that I'm the
Water
beer I
festival.
chose. I don't have my bottle. I Oh, by the way, everyone,
I do.
new location for Sharona for tonight's show. Welcome to my boudoir. It's very dark and mysterious here.
It show is. So what do you got tonight? You got some kind of girly beer that you make fun of me
I
for?
in your honor, since you like chocolate stouts and
Oh,
drinking a
shit.
chocolate.
Okay. That's what Southern Tier, I think. That
Mm,
is. That's quite
It
good. I
is
feel like.
extremely chocolate, thick, heavy, but good. Two
Yeah,
thumbs up.
so I had no intentions of going to any more Titans games, but I did go to the season finale as they played the Colts in what seemed like their third or fourth preseason game of the year.
Yeah.
Say fourth preseason game, kind of like that game you don't care about, but you get to pay full price. Because my dad complained and got, what some of the season ticket holders got, we got to hold the Tighten Up flag on the field. And I sent you some pictures of that, and I
Yes,
posted
you did.
posted an article with a bunch of pictures because it was a weird experience to be on the field and have
What
Adam
did your dad
Vinatieri.
What did your dad complain about?
I think he just called the Titans up and told them that they sucked. I don't think there's had anything to do with the game day experience. Although it is rather, I mean, obviously, maybe I've just noticed more this year. It's just really expensive to go to the game. I got the hot chicken sandwich and a beer and a bottle of water, and it was like $25. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, you're gonna lose fans to the home experience, which is kind of hard to top. I really enjoy that during the playoffs because I'm like, I don't have to change channels. I just have one game on at a time. It's hard to get used to, but pretty soon we're gonna have nothing, and
I
it's
did
gonna be very sad.
not watch a minute of the playoffs.
It's like I don't even know you. I don't know
I
how to
know,
coach
right?
football.
I just it was a weird experience this year for me, writing about and covering the Titans and watching the season unfold, and the whole, for the past 2 years, the whole experience has not been, it's not been fun. It hasn't been the game day experience sucks. Frankly, it's terrible. I can't, as a fan, I don't know what they're trying to sell. I don't know what they're trying to sell to their fans, but they're not selling anything that's, to me, that is good. And it goes way beyond the product on the football field. I just don't think. I think the Titans are just not a very poorly run organization right now, and I think that for the Titans, where they go from here, I hope that they're searching for answers, but I suspect that they're not.
Well, there's a lot is made. We're going to be hearing about this a lot in the next 5 months. The importance of the position of quarterback and how he's kind of like the CEO on the field. Well, the owner is supposedly the CEO off the field, and the Titans don't really have one, so that is a problem. I don't know how to resolve that, because you got to have someone who's super crazy, evil, rich, and Peyton's not
It's
quite
so
there
funny
yet.
that you say that, Zach, because something that's been on my mind for the last couple of days um, is Bud Adams, and when I'm thinking about the Titans, which really hasn't, it's not very much anymore, but people used to complain about Bud Adams, but in terms of NFL owners, it wasn't all that bad. He was actually a pretty decent NFL owner, and I suspect that the Titans are entering very much a period where they're going to suck.
It does take a strong woman to admit that you're thinking of Bud Adams in your boudoir. There you go.
Well, you were very interested in doing a show, which I missed you, Zach. I'm so happy to be back, but I was enjoying my little hiatus, not having to think about or care about the Titans. So,
So I'm
so
dragging you back into the muck, huh?
when you suggested that we get back into the swing of things, I was forced to think about, the team and where the organization and what they're doing and where they go from here. And um, unless they're committed, which I don't think that they are, but unless they're committed to making real changes, to putting people in charge who actually have a clue, I don't. I don't think that they're going to be. I just don't think they're going to be very good. They're not going to be marketable. They're not going to be interesting. They're not going to be anything except bad.
Well, when I look at the teams who fired their coach, maybe the GM candidates are of higher quality, but the coaching candidates that are interviewing right now, there's not a lot of excitement about it. Like, there's Rex Ryan to Atlanta, and that's like either people go, that's gonna be great, or that's gonna suck, and it's almost like if your good coach is secondary to can you sell tickets, and I guess Rex Ryan can sell tickets, but I have a friend who's kind of making fun of the Falcons because they didn't fire Dimitrov, they didn't fire Pioli, so they have all these ex-Patriots, and we know how well ex-Patriots do in new jobs. And they're talking
Not
about
very
hiring Josh
well.
McDaniels. I'm like, oh, talk about the trifecta of pain.
Whew.
So yeah, it's like
The
I
suck is
even
strong in that scenario.
I even said today that if the Titans fired their coach, GM, the whole shebang, I think the Raiders might be a better job considered because they at least have a quarterback. I don't know what else. They don't have much else, but it's a storied franchise. The story has been kind of like a horror movie the last 15 years, but it's not like the Titans is like, wow, what do you have what's the foundation right now? Yeah, like, eh. Yeah, and since you say I've been paying attention, you probably didn't see the bizarre day on Twitter where the Tennessee Titans account actually live tweeted the Music City Miracle game, as I guess
What?
it happened 15 years ago. So it was doing, like,
See, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Why would they do that? Who in their right mind would think that that is a good idea?
yeah, because it was a really boring game. If you ever see the replay, Jeff Fisher basically lost another playoff game, and there's only
I
one
can't
play in
believe
that
that.
entire game you
This
want
is exactly the kind of shit I'm talking about.
to.
They're terrible all around.
Yeah.
That's such a terrible idea.
I've been trying to tell you this for months. You're catching on, though. I like it.
God.
It takes a while, but
Well, I mean, the website is awful. The website is god awful, and so I should not be shocked whatsoever that some dumbass would do something like that. I'm sorry. The truth hurts. You know?
Well, my favorite part, so the Titans Twitter account live tweeted the entire game. The Rams Twitter account tweeted back to them saying, "See you in Atlanta," and they showed a picture of Kurt Warner with the Lombardi, and I thought there you go, that's a good response. And I bet there's some people going, "Wait, the Rams and the Titans were in the Super Bowl? Did this happen? Is this an alternate universe? Because it's not happening now." Yeah, it was a fun
That's
day.
pathetic.
The only time the Titans get in the news is like, oh boy.
When they get clowned on Twitter, you're like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Holy crap!
You only went to, what did you say? One, yeah.
What a Mickey Mouse organization! My God.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for letting me know that that happened. I could have gone the rest of my life without knowing.
That's what I like to bring. So I thought it'd be fun. Of course, since you don't even know who's in the playoffs, I'm not going to help you, but I was going to rank the teams in the playoffs that I hated from most to least because
I know the Ravens made it,
that's a
and
good
the
feeling.
Panthers. Yeah, I mean, I got updates and stuff.
You hear of things, huh?
I hear of things.
You're like in your fortress of solitude. I like this.
I've got my pulse kind of, I mean, obviously I didn't have my radar on the patheticness that would be the Titans tweeting a game that happened 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Well, I don't know if it's a funny story, but the day that game happened, I was hungover in a hotel in Houston. I was at my cousin's wedding.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just astounded. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
So, well, here's what my cousin was getting married, but he's a big LSU fan, so he didn't want to get married during football season, so he got married the first weekend of January. Well, of course, the Titans end up in the playoffs, but we have to go, so I get drunk, and this is me 15 years ago? Oh my gosh. Drunk on Bud Light, and I wake up in my hotel room hungover. By the way, I got dumped on New Year's Day that year, so the girlfriend I was bringing to this wedding was not there. It might have been an excuse for me to drink. Yeah, so I believe it was like the Lions were playing the Washington, and I kind of slept through that, and then the Titans were on, and I literally like stumbled into my parents' like the room they had, which was like next door, and right when that play happened is when I got in there. So I really hadn't seen the game until much later, and I didn't miss much. But the best part is my parents gave the tickets away to a friend of theirs who is a Bills fan.
No way!
He was in the end zone where Dyson ran into the.
Oh my God!
Because I remember.
Poor Bills fan.
I know he's been. And that's what's sad about the game is that the Bills actually look like for the past 15 years have probably looked up at the Titans because they haven't even made the playoffs. Yeah. Like they went 9-7 last year. That's their best year I think they've had since that year. And freaking Rob Johnson, man, he was the guy leading them to the victory almost. it was a sad day all around. But I don't know if it tops my younger cousin was so hungover that he actually passed out during the wedding ceremony. So it was a exciting weekend all around. When there's a wedding in Baton Rouge, trust me, there's going to be a lot of drinking. That's really it. Or was it Houston? I don't even remember anymore. It was in some city. So, yeah, that was my tale of woe.
I was there. Have you heard my story? I've told you my story. Y'all know my story.
You were there. Oh, didn't you like leave? I forget. Or is that a
No,
different time?
I did not leave. I had been in a rather serious car accident about 2 weeks before the game. No, a little bit longer. Yeah, roughly. So I had a brace on my knee, and I had the flu on top of that, and I just come down with the flu. But like a gamer, I went, and I wanted to leave at the very end. I wanted to leave, and my friend was like, "No, we're not leaving." She'd been a Dallas Cowboys fan growing up, just like me. Of course, we
Mm.
bonded over that, and
Ouch.
so we stayed, and it was, back in the day, it was awesome.
Well, I mean, it was after a lame duck year in Houston, a year in Memphis, which was a dumbass mistake on par with live tweeting a 15-year-old game, and then the year in Vanderbilt where they really didn't fit in and they weren't that good. And then needing to get a college fan base into the NFL a nice season, end up going to Super Bowl. And the next year, I was there when they clinched the home field advantage by beating the Cowboys on Monday Night Football, which was nice.
Up until this year, I was a very regular. I hadn't missed a home game until the Washington game where Vince Young lost his shit and threw his stuff in the stands. That was the first home game that I ever missed was that.
Hmm.
And this past season, I only went to one game. I don't see myself as a fan going to any games.
I went to 2 games in December. I deserved like a Purple Heart for that. It was horrible. Bad.
I felt bad for you.
They finished the year losing 10 games in a row to 10 teams that had lost the week before. That's what happened. And yeah, including the Jets and the Giants. Ugh, yeah, it was bad. But let's talk. Let's harness this hate. Well, at least I'll harness the hate, and you can tell me whether I'm full of what. So
Okay.
I'm ranking the teams I hate remaining in the playoffs from most
Okay.
hated to least. Uh,
Ravens.
no- Number one, I actually have the Patriots and the Ravens.
Oh, the tie.
I thought I hated the Ravens until they played the Patriots in the playoffs a few years ago, and I found myself wanting the Patriots to lose more than the Ravens.
Chaos.
It was like finding out that gravity no longer worked, or that beer suddenly tastes like turpentine, or that I think that Tony Saragusa adds a lot to football broadcasts. Totally ridiculous things. So the good news about them playing is that one of them has to lose. Because I'm tired of my local friend who just can't shut up about Tom Brady. I had to post that
Right.
article about the
Boston sports fans in general are just obnoxious.
I had to mention the slurping sound from his neighborhood after Tom Brady. That big story came out. Tom Brady adjusted his contract to save the Patriots $24 million. Well, the fine print is he's still getting like $1 million more every year, but because of salary cap shenanigans, it's helping the team. So it's always like Tom Brady takes less money. I'm like, he's still making like $18 million a year, and plus his wife makes 9 figures. She makes crazy money, so it's not like he's that. Selfless. Oh, he's making the veteran minimum. Okay. So yeah,
You know how the narrative goes.
after those two, we go number three, the Colts. They had Peyton, and then they sucked 1 year, and they get Andrew Luck, and minus a few parts, they're still that exact same horrible team, but with a really good quarterback. And every year they get in the playoffs, they manage to get matched up against the least playoff-ready team in the conference, a Bengals team with Andy Dalton thrown to a bunch of fourth preseason game
I
guys.
mean,
his first half of that game, he was throwing the ball to like his third string running back. I mean, give me a break. It was. I mean, AJ Green was out. They had running backs, but nothing else. And plus, Andy Dalton kind of sucks. Although as Titans fans, we're like, ooh, 4 playoff games in a row. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Has that ever
right.
happened?
I mean, out of that draft class, though, Andy Dalton's not looking too bad. I mean,
Yeah,
the
there
Titans,
was
well, I
some
think, would
rookies.
gladly trade Jake Locker's glass body to, and get Andy Dalton's ability to stay on the field.
Did you see that picture that was posted? It was Locker watching the final playoff game, and it was a guy in a full body cast with like a thumbs up.
It did not. I have
That was
literally
a few
not
weeks
been
ago.
on social media. No
I'm gonna
Facebook, no
catch up to
Twitter.
you. I need
No.
40,000 tweets. And
Zach lured me out of retirement to come and do the
uh,
show with him.
I have skills. Now, I do have a. This is a minor sad moment. We had to say goodbye to this guy's brother, Sting, over the
Oh,
holidays.
I'm sorry,
He
buddy.
was sick,
I'm
and
gonna cry now. Don't do that to me, Zach.
it was, yeah. But this guy has been enjoying being
Oh.
only kitty. He has had a fun time of it all.
Hi, kitty
Yeah.
kitty.
And he seriously will not shut up. But that's not much different than usual. Anyway, so yeah, what a fun. Yeah, I had 2 weeks off, and then on the second day we had to go to the vet.
No,
Not.
no, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
It was like a bad moment that was done the way it should be. You're with your cat to the last minute. We're very good friends with the vet. It was great. And we're gonna create a little garden in our backyard. We're gonna have the remains back there of him and his sister, and we're gonna do. I think we're trying to do one of those permanent flames, like with JFK, or that's me just trying to create one of those for my fantasy football trophy, to honor myself. Anyway, I thought I'd get back to ridiculous. Did it work?
What are you drinking again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
This is the Sweetwater Festive Ale, so this is like a
That's a
holiday
good one.
beer. Dark like my soul. I
Cheers.
know, we got matching dark beers.
We do. All right, Colts, and then.
Number 4, you'll like this, the Dallas Cowboys. It's my Steeler roots. It's like I couldn't be a Steelers fan, but I could hate the Cowboys. I do have a little bit of love for Tony Romo, Des Bryant leading my fantasy team to glory. So Jerry Jones, in the first round, he picked a guard who was like all pro. But anytime anybody interviews him, he will not shut up about how he wanted to take Johnny Manziel.
I know,
He
he's
doesn't
obsessed.
know like his what from the broads out of a barn. And his new stadium is like the worst home field advantage. It's a $2 billion spaceship, and the only good thing that ever happened in that stadium was when the Titans punter hit the Jumbotron in a preseason game. I saw an article today about how the college national championship game is at that stadium, and how it's like, well, it'd be really cool if they could have college football championship games like at a campus, because the campus atmosphere for football is way better than the sterile kind of NFL that they're going to have. I mean, the Cowboys went 4-4 at home this year and 8-0 on the road. What does that say?
That's it's Bizarro World.
Well, for them to be good this year, that's bizarre. Because remember when the Titans were predicted to beat the Cowboys in week 2?
Shit, man. Potty mouth.
I tell
came
you.
out of retirement with the potties.
No, it took you a little while to get there. And so number 5 will be the Denver Broncos. Peyton spurned the Titans from the state in which he played college ball for a team with Florida's color scheme. We may see a part of his body fall off during this game. I'm serious.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, no doubt.
It was like the Broncos kept saying, we're running the ball because Peyton, we're saving him for the playoffs. I'm like, he might be done, but we'll find out.
Well, I mean, I think that it was a smart strategy
save him.
To try to save his arm. I mean, because he's fallen, old man time is undefeated, baby.
That is true. So number 6, I had the Carolina Panthers. Seriously, a team that had to win its final playoff game to get to 500 is in the final 8. The Titans
No, that's just.
only needed 6 more wins to win the NFC South. I have a minor soft spot for Cam, who's like the Vince Young, who's not a complete dumbass. Just because
Yeah.
people seem to rail on him a little more than they should
They
for,
hate his smile.
for his like perceived attitude, but seems like a good leader guy, and I'm glad he at least got a victory. Although he was kind of shite for my dynasty team this year. I can't lie. What are you gonna do? So number 7, I have the Green Bay Packers. Let's face it, this might be the last chance to see an actual team with offense get in the Super Bowl. And Rodgers is just as bad as other quarterbacks in commercials, but he's probably the best quarterback in the tourney. Although that calf injury might, derail them if they lose to the Cowboys. Woo! I have a friend who says if it's Cowboys and Patriots, he's going to go see a movie instead of watch a Super Bowl. And I don't blame him. You might need to see 2 movies though. It's kind of long. So number 8, Seattle Seahawks. Oh my gosh, my wife jumped on the bandwagon last year and we visited Seattle, and she has a Super Bowl shirt. I might as well
No
get on board.
way.
I might as well get on board because they play the 8-1 Panthers this week, and then the Cowboys with their pillow soft defense. Either they get the Cowboys with Tony Romo, who has 2 broken bones in his back, or Aaron Rodgers and his injured calf, who sucked in Seattle earlier this season. So I feel like they've got practically like a bye to the Super Bowl, like sadly the Patriots probably do. So that's teams I hate.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I
the
enjoyed.
Cowboys.
I enjoyed your list, Zach.
Well, thanks. I live to entertain. Yeah.
It was, yeah. Not shocking at all, really.
Not shocking. You know things.
So who is your Super Bowl pick?
It's probably Seahawks and the Tom Brady's. And it'd be nice to see him losing the Super Bowl, because then he'd be 3-3. Perfect. Symmetry.
Hmm.
And oddly, like Tom Brady won Super Bowls.
And what, 0-3 since Spygate? Woo!
Well, it's funny because the friend of mine who always he once compared Peyton to Hitler on our message board.
No way.
He just hates because he's always like, well, Peyton sucks in the playoffs, and he did. He really sucked. Even the year they won the Super Bowl, he sucked. He had like 7 interceptions, but he got his way through. He got Rex in the Super Bowl, sexy Rexy. In irony, he beat a Florida guy in the Super Bowl. But Tom Brady, like when he became like a really good throwing quarterback, the team got worse. Like they were at their peak when he was handing the ball to Antoine Smith and throwing to Troy Brown.
He
Was
was a
playing both
Titan
ways.
for a year. The last time they made the playoffs, right? No. He was on one of their playoff teams.
Dang, because that guy was pretty old when he was a rookie, so he hung around. I do have a list of Mel Kiper's top 10 draft picks, and we can see
Okay.
who fit the Titans. I'd come up with a list earlier, but to have a Mel Kiper list of just 10 is a lot easier.
Okay.
I don't think anything's going to happen besides Marcus Mariota number 1. I'm pretty sure that the Bucks are taking him. They got the Dirk Cutter, who was the Falcons offensive coordinator, because they didn't really have one this year, so maybe that's all their offense kind
that
of
was
sucks.
kind of hard, Jeff Tedford, his health problems and stuff. Yeah.
People are saying that as a prospect that Jameis Winston might be better as a quarterback, but those off-the-field concerns are kind of important, and people are actually paying attention now. Like, I don't know if people cared as much 10 years ago, but now it's actually out there. People do bad things, and people don't like it now. It used to be like, it's football. Let me have my football. But so we'll see what happens with that. But so Marcus Mariota was number 1. Leonard Williams, who I think is like a kind of like a Jarrell Casey type from USC, kind of a defensive tackle. So I'm wondering, will the Titans take another guy like that? Kind of wish they'd taken Aaron Donald this year, but we got our Taylor.
Yeah, I mean they passed on a lot of defensive studs to do what they did.
They could use some defensive help, and we'll see with some of these other guys. Lots of outside rush kind of guys who might be 3-4 linebackers or 3-4 ends. The third guy is Amari Cooper. Will the Titans use another high pick on a wide receiver? Because Justin Hunter, maybe the Jag thing was true. He did lacerate a spleen, but boy, he was not good before then. Hard to say.
He was very inconsistent.
Exactly.
He was very inconsistent.
So, we'll go receiver. I don't know.
He's a guy, the frustrating thing about Justin Hunter, he is the guy that all these Titans players are talking about when they talk about players who don't have that fire in their belly, who don't have that drive to be great. He doesn't have it, and it's sad for me to see it, but he does not have it. He's got loads of talent, but he does not have that.
Gosh, and he's on my dynasty team. Whee! Anyway. So
it's hard to say that, but it's true.
The number 4 guy, Randy Gregory out of Nebraska. I've actually heard of him. I think he could probably play defensive end or outside linebacker. I'm sure they're bringing back the Georgia Tech guy. I can't remember his name now. I mean, not like it's gonna cost a lot of money, and it's not like they're in any kind of salary cap issues. So they could use 3 to 4 pass rushers, however many need on the team.
They're gonna have to. What has there been any word about Derek Morgan?
I haven't seen anything, but I don't know.
They're too busy living in the past.
Time.
They're too busy living 15 years ago to concern themselves with Derek Morgan, who is going to be his pending free agent.
I do think the team is actually coaching one of the what is it, the Senior Bowl?
They're coaching the Senior
teams?
Bowl.
So that's good. They get a chance to at least see the guys and teach them the Titan way, which is, I don't know, lose consistently.
That's scary.
Anyway, yeah, so number 5, Shane Ray out of the University of Missouri, who actually their
a
other
dude who just can't get right, and I think that people are dreaming if they think that guy's going to go in the top 10.
What, Shane Ray?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the hairstyle thinks he's number 5. It's still early, though,
The hairstyle, I mean, if you've looked at his drafts over time, he's not very good. Sorry. Not sorry.
It was a really, really niche thing, but now a ton of people do it. So there's a lot more talent there. You got to be better now.
Well, he doesn't.
It's like a personality almost, which is kind of, if you're an expert. So number 6, Famous Jameis. Oh, yeah. I think America collectively was happy to watch the Florida State get pounded in the Rose Bowl.
I did not watch that either.
It was a weird karmic, Florida State came through a lot of
I did see the Oregon players singing, "No means no."
Yeah.
No means no, which I kind of enjoyed.
The whole Florida State association with that tribe is it's not even really an Indian tribe. It's a group of people who know they make a ton of money off of this team. So, yeah, it's just the whole thing just is not comfortable. But, hey, they lost. Yay. Now, the number 7 guy is Brandon Scherf out of Iowa, and I don't think the Titans are taking a right tackle at number 2, and I don't think they can take a guy who got pounded by Tennessee in a bowl game. Hi, hater. You're not impressed.
Well, I mean, we've still got free agency to go through. We've still got, I fear we're at least 10 bad decisions away from their draft.
Oh, yes. I mean, I would love it if they were able to get Michael Roos to come back and play right tackle, but would he really do that? I mean,
well, it's sounding like his body's breaking down. So
plus, yeah, he's played in the NFL for I don't even know 8-9 years. That's a long time, and when you're an offensive lineman, you get the crap beaten out of you on every play. And my cat's actually knocking my computer off the table.
I was wondering what was going on. I'm like, am I tripping? What's going on? Here. Spinning, spinning.
Well, Allison basically made this room like I'm cleaning my office, so I'm putting all my crap in your office. So yeah, the desk is kind of full right now. So number 8, guys, Devontae Parker out of Louisville. He's a receiver that
Hmm.
I know what his name is, but I don't know much else. I don't know if he's
He's
a
good. He's
huge
good.
guy. I mean, you
He's
see these
he
later guys.
he is the counterpart competition to Amari Cooper, and much like some of the running backs and whatnot over wide receivers, draft Twitter is a little divided over who is better. They both have. I would take either one.
Draft Twitter. I mean, I think we'd all be okay the way this draft looks. Like, it doesn't look like any clear, other than maybe the quarterbacks and probably quarterback. It
We're
seems
a
like a kind of a
long ways away.
flat talent level. Plus, yeah, we're just good. Like literally,
I'd like
I've
to see
heard
some.
of some of these guys, and this is just the top 10 list.
Okay,
Like
I'd
if
like
you're
to
the
see some big boards from other. I'm gonna start once I get through with this very exciting project that I'm working on that I can't wait to roll out. I'm gonna
you're the
turn to
big cheese. You
draft.
never talk about nothing. I can't talk about this. Come on.
I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Oh, well, that would be bad. Um, number 9, Melvin Gordon. Although really a running back in the top 10, I don't see that happening. And it seems like it's a pretty deep running back class. As someone in a dynasty fantasy league who has the 4th rookie pick, intrigued to see where it all shakes out. I probably need a receiver more than a running back, but this year is a pretty good class. And
And
number
a lot
10,
of it is where they go to, and what kind of
really.
uses are. I mean, if you've learned anything from the Bishop
Oh
Sankey
gosh.
thing, you know
Thank you.
that.
Thank you, Leg.
I tried to tell people. I tried to warn y'all. Nobody listened to me.
No, there were I don't know. It's like he had these nice numbers, but man, to go through your whole rookie year and the final game they gave like Sean Green, and how many hot hand jokes did we make like during that game? Like, oh, Sean Green, why are you giving all the carries to a guy who's probably not going to be in the team next year instead of the rookie who you took when you had a choice of every rookie running back in the draft, and you didn't give him the ball, and you don't think they have one 20-yard carry? I mean, at least Chris Johnson occasionally would break one. Maybe the blocking sucked, which let's admit it kind of did. But dang, the numbers he had at the end of the year were not to be expected. So the last guy on the list is Alabama safety Landon Collins, and Titans could use a safety, probably not as high as they're picking, but maybe
I
like
like
top 10.
Landon Collins, but I got to tell you, that whole thing about Alabama defensive backs, I'm almost buying into that.
Yeah, who is that guy that
D.
the
Milner.
Bucks drafted, and then he got
Oh,
traded for like
yeah,
a pack of toilet paper, and
yeah.
yeah, that's never good. I took him in a dynasty league.
Yeah, I mean, look at D. Milner with the Jets. Very much. Jury's still very much out on him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we got a lot of jury and a lot of time. So there was an article today because I posted something about the playoffs, and somebody posted back to me about how I'd take the guy's pay. But what's weird about the NFL and playoffs is during the playoffs, everybody gets paid the same,
Hmm.
and they actually showed how much players get. And during the wild card, it actually projects the salary they get, which is $22,000, not bad, but it projects to less than the minimum salary for a rookie. And even I think at the Super Bowl it's like $130,000. But guys like Brady are making $1 million a week. So it's interesting to see that in the playoffs where teams charge higher prices and they get more TV money, that the players actually don't get that much more money. It helps out the younger guys who are barely on the roster. But if you're like a veteran, you're not really getting paid up to what you're used to. And that's something that doesn't get a lot of press, but I guess because like, hey, football players, they make a lot of money. Who cares? But they kind of need to save up, I would think. I can't be like all like Wycheck, right? Getting that cushy radio gig. But you can't say anything bad about him because he's following you on Twitter, right?
Hi, Frankie.
That's what I thought. Yeah, there's a Bills fan I follow on Twitter, and his words for Frank Wycheck are not very nice. I don't know if he actually thinks it was a forward pass. They actually didn't they do like a sports science that actually showed the line of him throwing the
They
ball and how
did.
it was parallel. I
Hmm.
just liked having Wycheck on fantasy teams because once a year he'd get the ball and like an option he would throw a touchdown, which no other tight end, as far as I can tell, has ever done. Like usually it's a receiver or running back, but yeah, he threw the ball a few times. He had a decent arm. When Fisher refused to let Steve McNair throw the ball back in the day. Another
Back in
weird
the day.
another weird thing is like if the Titans didn't win the Music City Miracle, would Jeff Fisher still be a coach in the NFL? Like more than half of his career playoff wins were that year. He won those 3 games. He won the game where Allison got bronchitis before we were married against the Steelers, and they beat the Ravens in that one game. And I don't think they won any other playoff games that whole time. Yikes. Anyway, plus a lot of 8-8s.
A
Eight and
lot of eight and
eight.
eights. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
It's
I
an
don't know.
interesting thought. I don't know. I mean, the NFL seems to love retreads, whether or not they. I don't think a lot of research goes into. I think I did more research than the Titans did on their head coach.
Hmm. And what do you think of last year's offensive coordinator, Doel Loganes, extra in the Hobbit movies, getting fired by the Browns?
I did not see
Him and
that.
Shanahan got the boot this morning. I heard that Shanahan was going somewhere else anyway, and it's kind of the way it is. If you're a coordinator, you usually don't stay at anywhere very long, but when the Titans moved him up, he was like, ooh, he's a guy to look because he was young. I mean, he's like younger than me.
Well, a lot of people seem, the research I did on him was that he was an up and coming guy. It sounds like, well,
Well, I mean, he
uh,
came all the way through the ranks like as an intern. I mean, he wasn't a former player as like half the coaches are, or a
I thought he
relative to
was.
a coach. He was like a bench warmer for Arkansas, and
Yeah,
then
he was the backup quarterback at
he
Arkansas.
got a gig as like it took him a couple years to be a quality control coach, which is like the lowest rung. This is when I was covering the Titans for Bleacher Report. I actually had to pay attention to these things, like who all the coaches were, and gosh, what a glorious time that was. But yeah, now he's a free agent. Maybe he's still attached to Shanahan, and people seem to like him. And maybe Kyle will be a coach someday, and he'll be his OC. Maybe for the Titans next year, huh?
That's interesting.
Come back to Nashville.
Have the Jets hired anybody yet?
The who?
Jets.
I've heard that the defensive coordinator of the Seahawks, Dan Quinn, I think, has been rumored, and I think they
Okay.
might bring Shanahan over, but I haven't. It's just every time a name comes out, it's like, oh, the Raiders are interviewing. The defensive coordinator from Washington got fired, and he's interviewing for the Raiders head coaching job. I'm like, oh my gosh, why? Jim Haslett, seriously? But I think Sperano. Actually, I don't know. I forget if Sperano might have a chance. I don't know. Raiders are totally in another level of sadness. So you want to talk to me about how terrible I am about Southern food and all that, and how I'm not up to
You
snuff
really
with
do
all that?
suck at being Southern. We're gonna have to
Being
send
a
you back up
Southern,
north.
is that how it works? Do I get exchanged for a prisoner or something?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Well, so Sharona was trying to tell me that I need to eat more swimming stuff, and I've told her that every time I eat something that's from the sea, it tastes like opening your mouth in the ocean and getting a mouthful of salt water. Just don't like it, and it
You
tastes
have
vaguely,
clearly
and it tastes
You
vaguely like it's
clearly
going
you
bad.
have clearly not had it cooked correctly for you, and I'm very concerned about your inability to appreciate the grit.
Hmm. I feel like we're dealing with a no true Scotsman kind of argument here. I'm not a true Southerner because I haven't tried the good stuff. I've been to freaking Hawaii eating a fish named Delicious by the Hawaiian language that Allison absolutely loved, and I had, and I was like, ugh. So I'm sorry. And I actually purposely got grits after you were like, "What do you think of grits?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't really had any." So I bought some at a place that Allison liked, and I ate some, and I was like, "That tastes like rice that hasn't quite finished cooking yet."
You
So
have not had the right. What is the name of this place?
it's called the Hickory House, and
Oh.
Allison ate them fine. She liked them, so fine. I'll come to Nashville, and we won't keep ducking each other. And you show me a true
Oh,
Southern
whatever.
restaurant.
The,
You
the
show
the
me the
the
good
game that
stuff.
I went to, my phone died. Yeah,
Who's that?
right.
A true story. Sad, but
You
true.
definitely need to get on my level.
I don't know where this level is. I think there's levels in a parallel universe. I'm not sure if it's reachable by mortal man.
I am shedding hair. It's raining hair.
Hmm. So what happened
It's
to this pup? Have
raining
you
hair.
did you give the dog like a sip of beer or something to knock?
She's puppy's having a rough time of it.
Really? What?
Puppy's little world is being turned upside down, and she does not know what to make of it.
Hmm. She been like sent off to like a smaller part of the place? Is that what's going on?
She's not. She did not. She showed no interest in joining the festivities in the boudoir, and so she's not in here. You'd have to
Hmm.
understand the way my house is designed. I'm upstairs in the bedroom, the boudoir wing, and so God knows where she is.
Really? Usually she's not. She's just been heard.
She can't decide what she wants.
Hmm.
Ooh, mommy's here, but ooh, look at all this other stuff going on.
Shiny object.
All yeah. So
Yeah, another thing this time of year brings up is the last time the Titans were in the playoffs, which is 2009. Um, my mom had a premonition that they were going to lose, so she got a hard lemonade at the game, and first time she ever bought alcohol at a game. And yeah, they lost to the Ravens. Gus, two
oh
times I've watched
wow.
them lose to the Ravens as the number one seed. I absolutely despise the NFL seeding when the freaking Steelers got to play the 8-8 Chargers and the Titans got the Ravens. But they totally choked in that game. They were the best team in the league, and they choked.
Oh,
And
in the 2008 season,
Ed
yeah,
Reed tried to twist Chris Johnson like a pretzel and injured him on purpose, which we all know because he had 99 yards in the first quarter against him. He
yeah,
was
he was
killing
killing
him,
them.
and they had nothing left. And Lendell fumbled, and Algie Crumpler
Who did
fumbled.
they? They took someone out this year. Who did they take out this year?
What, the Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They've been quite mediocre, but hey, they got in the playoffs.
Anyway,
They're the last team standing in the AFC North. Sorry, I dropped the
they took one of
beer
the
can.
Titans players out this year too.
They did. They took out a lot of people's will to live because it was a horrible, boring game. I remember going to a sports bar, and that was, I swear they had like 4 yards of offense in the entire second half. They just got the ball, and it was three and out, three and out, three and out. I mean, at least it wasn't a game where they were making, well, say a game where they were making the crappy like Colts defense look good, but that was the week where the Ravens had like two starting cornerbacks who weren't in the NFL the week before, and Titans couldn't
And still
do
can
damn
do
thing against them.
shoo with it.
Exactly. So it was a painful time.
It's
It's been a painful run,
yeah.
tough time. So yeah, a lot to look forward to, huh? Months till the
Yeah,
draft.
I have a
The
lot to look forward
playoffs you're
to. I
even
don't know.
watching.
I have a lot to look forward to. I don't know what the Titans are doing or what they have to look forward to. I suspect a lot more suck.
A lot more suck. Yeah, how many? Yeah, it's like, what's even like a best case scenario for next year? I mean, really, you kind of want him to stink one more year so they can get rid of Wisnant because he's horrible. We know he's horrible. Everybody else knows he's horrible. The Titans like, consistency. Yeah, consistently bad. That's consistency, right?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we're beating a dead horse here, but until they get decision makers in place who have a clue, it's going to be what it is, and what it is isn't good.
Yeah. So do you
They'll
want
be
to talk
live
about?
tweeting in a couple of weeks they'll be live tweeting a game. Well, they only won 2 this year, but they might live tweet one of those. Hey,
Oh my gosh.
how
The
exciting
live
would
tweet
that
that
be?
first
Woo!
Jaguars game that they tried to blow and almost did. It would have been solid.
That's
They would
just so
have That was the number one
pathetic.
pick
Oh
if it
my
weren't for
God.
Sammy
They're
Lee
so
Hill blocking a
pathetic.
field goal. Yeah. So how'd you feel about your Tax Slayer Bowl champion
I did
Vols?
not watch that game either. I know.
Where have you been? What's going on? You
I'm
got a
on
new
a
bow
mission.
or something? You got a bull friend? Because you seem
I'm a woman on a
distracted.
mission. I'm a woman on a mission. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I do have a big project going on that has turned out to be a lot bigger than I
Hmm.
expected, but I'm determined to get it done, get her
I don't believe
done.
it's real till you tell me, but that's okay. I understand.
Zach and I might have some exciting news.
Really? We might have some intriguing.
Zach's riding again, and
Oh yeah. It's like, oh what? Oh that. Yeah, well, it's been an interesting season. You get to learn lessons through positive, negative things, and I enjoyed the time I had running for fantasysports.org. But that contract kind of ran out, and that was over kind of abruptly. But it finished, and now it's like, yeah, now what I do? Huh? I've been just posting on my own site, but I'm gonna post something on your site.
yeah, I'm
Instead
excited.
of the 15 articles you post a week about the Titans, I bet
I
it's
haven't
all.
written the last thing I wrote about, and we didn't talk about this. There was a lot of talk about the Bucks tanking, which really what I wrote about is if you had concerns about what the Bucks did, we're not talking about tanking, we're talking about throwing a game. So that was the last thing, my last thoughts on. I'm going to do a season wrap up.
It
I
was a
have
rack
not
up.
done that. I mean, the
There was
Titans were
like,
2-14. They were bad. There's not a lot of positive to say. And when when you're forced to, it's been a tough 2 years, because I didn't enjoy going to the games that much last year. So I didn't go, only went to one game this year, and the product on the field was bad this year.
sucked.
When you're around that kind of situation, it's harder than what you think. It's very, very, very hard to write about a team that stinks as badly as the Titans, and it steals your joy. And I had to get away. I had to take a break and get away from, just get away from it.
And I dragged you back, so you're welcome.
And you drug me back to tell me that the Titans live tweeted today in our Lord 2015 a game that happened back in 2000.
2000. That's right. What a weird ass year that was.
Lord, I just.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So
Well,
you so you can promote your new thing you got going on that you're not gonna tell us about. That'd be awesome. And maybe your Twitter account. I got this new awesome thing that I can't tell you about.
I really can't.
Uh-huh. All right,
It's
fine.
it's cool,
Well, you're
I
involved, so it's
think.
probably all right. It's probably all right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep posting. I've actually kind of backed off a little bit. I mean, I've only been in 2 fantasy leagues, but I was commissioner of one since 2006, and I decided to stop being commissioner. I was like, this off-season stuff, I just don't want to do it. So we found somebody else to do it. So I still have the team, but
I gotta check back
Like, oh,
in
it's somebody
and
else's
see.
issue.
We're trying to continue our dynasty league. I need to check back in on that.
Yeah, because that's the thing that makes it no off season. When you're in Dynasty League, you always seem to be doing something. You got the rookie draft coming up. Most people do some
Hmm.
kind of free agency, like we do like a little auction in February right after the season's over. Because you gotta have something to do. You gotta be trying to pick up, I don't even know, some super scrubs off everybody's roster. I mean, a few years ago it was Victor Cruz that actually worked out, but most years it's crap. Stop eating plastic, Chewy. Anyway, he loves plastic. He's delicious.
Somebody's wanting in on the act, Sean.
Oh,
So
I
I'm gonna have to
see.
go.
So go Titans or gone Titans. We're glad the season's over, but we're glad we have friends like Sharona.
We need to
Sports
decide
by
what we're gonna.
Sharona on
We're
Twitter. That's where you
we're
find her.
gonna continue. We're gonna continue these shows. We're gonna definitely have to redo our focus, Zach.
Yeah. Focus on something that doesn't depress us 24/7. Good idea. I'm with you.
All right.
And you always find me, Zach Law Online, and Zach_Law on the Twitters. So everybody, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Playoffs continue. We
Look
only
at
have like
you.
6 games left. Enjoy your puppy time, and
She
good night,
broke through. She
everybody.
broke the door down.
I broke the
True
door
story.
down.
All right. Bye.
Say bye.